Everyone, and welcome to advisory for today. We're going to be talking about anxiety. So, first, we're going to start with a video that was actually created by the social work interns at Losing Her. So, we want to thank them for this video. And we'll go ahead and get started with that.
Hello everyone, welcome to this month's advisory video. This month's topic is on anxiety and is brought to you by the 2020-21 Losing Your High School Wellness Center team. My name is Kevin Nguyen and I'll be presenting today with Stephanie Estudios, the other social work intern.
In this presentation, we will be going through what is anxiety types, risk factors, treatment and therapy, coping skills, and additional resources.
So the first thing we're going to talk about is what is anxiety in a general sense, and we're going to show you this video. But before we do so, we want to talk about the importance of learning about anxiety, especially because anxiety disorders affect 25.1% of children between 13 and 18 years old. That's just about 1/4 of high school demographic. So maybe you don't know what anxiety is, and you may be experiencing anxiety, and at least our goal for this presentation is to help you recognize what it is, what you may be feeling, what other people may be feeling, and understand that it is normal and it's okay to talk about. So we're going to show you this video, hopefully to get you a better concept of what anxiety is.
There's no way I'm going to pass this exam. I don't even want to show up.
I was so uncomfortable at that party. It was hard for me to breathe and I got all sweaty. I had to leave.
I won't go to sleep or leave the house unless I've made sure the stove is off and the doors are locked. Sometimes I do this 3 or 4 times.
I have to get to the airport 5 hours early. You just never know what might happen. These are the voices of people who have experienced anxiety. Anxiety is a common reaction to life events, like taking a final exam or speaking in front of a crowd. But when it becomes really uncomfortable and makes day-to-day life hard to live, then it's a problem, or even what we call a disorder. I know. I've lived with anxiety for a long time. My own anxiety feels like it's about everything. I worry about so many things in so many ways, and it impacts my life big time. I stress about things that are about to happen or might happen, and it means I can't really focus on where I am or who I'm with. Sometimes my heart pounds, I speak really fast, and I kind of snap at people. My family gets really frustrated with me. When it's really bad, I have a knot in my stomach all the time. I can even feel depressed, and then I just want to be alone. I feel like if I do something, I'll screw it up or something will go wrong. So a lot of times, I'd just rather avoid it. Turns out, anxiety is a very common mental health symptom. It can be the main sign of generalized anxiety disorder, which I have, or social anxiety disorder, which is when people have a fear of being in public or meeting new people. For those of us with social or generalized anxiety disorders, it's really difficult to live the way we want to live. Some people have anxiety about really specific things. They are afraid of heights, snakes, spiders, or something else. These are called phobias, and when people avoid these things, anxiety mostly stays away. But when people can't avoid their phobias, it is a real problem. Some people experience anxiety and post-traumatic stress disorder, or obsessive compulsive disorder, which can make people really overcome with anxiety. In these conditions, anxiety can be so intense that people are at risk for suicide, and they use alcohol or drugs to cope, and sometimes their lives feel like they come to a halt. I'm one of the lucky ones. My doctor told me how to get the treatment that would help me, and it did. I understand now what my anxiety feels like, when it happens, and what I can do about it. I learned some great coping skills, and even just naming it keeps it in perspective. Sometimes my anxiety can still get pretty big, but it doesn't seem to last quite as long as it used to. My anxiety was treatable. For most people, this is true. You can get your life back to where you want it to be. I know. I've got mine back.
As discussed in the video, I will cover 5 types of anxiety. The first one is generalized anxiety disorder, having excessive anxiety or worry over various things. The second one is panic disorder, having unexpected sudden periods of intense fear. Third, phobias, having intense fear to specific objects or situations. 4, social anxiety disorder, having intense fear in social situations or performances. And 5, separation anxiety disorder, having intense fear about parting with attachments.
So in this part of the presentation, we're going to talk about risk factors, and that can be broken down into looking at genetic factors and environmental factors. Looking at genetic factors, we can see that sometimes people have developed anxiety due to biological genes passed down from their parents, along with sometimes it can be within their own physical health that cause some additional stressors that lead up to having anxiety. In other cases, which we may be all more familiar with, are environmental factors. Sometimes that could be stressors from our personal relationships, from our parents or siblings, or it could be from friendship drama or breakups and such. Sometimes it could be from our roles and responsibility, let's say as a employee or as a student in school, because sometimes like testing is hard, maintaining our grades is stressful, and a bunch of other sort of factors. And additionally too, there's also all the events that occur in the world, and that could also weigh on someone's mind and increase the likelihood of developing anxiety.
Treatment and therapy. So what can you do? You can seek individual and group counseling. You can also seek specific treatment therapy such as cognitive behavioral therapy, exposure therapy, acceptance and commitment therapy, dialectical behavioral therapy, and much more. For example, CBT targets controlling your thinking, maintain a sense of control and self-confidence, and learning coping skills.
So what if you're experiencing anxiety in the very current moment and you need ways to handle it? Well, you can exercise, work out, find ways to take care of your body and relax a little bit and get yourself a breather. It could be through mindful deep breathing exercises so that you're slowing yourself down, being in touch with your body, and just taking a moment to pause. And it could also be listening to music, jamming out to your favorite artist, listening to something that's more mellow and chill to calm you down. And there's also this thing called the 5-4-3-2-1 technique, where we ground ourselves in our senses and take a moment to connect with our immediate surrounding. And in this video, we'll be going into that a little bit in further detail.
This technique will take you through your 5 senses to help remind you of the present. This is a calming technique that can help you get through tough or stressful situations. Take a deep belly breath to begin. Number 5. Look. Look around for 5 things that you can see and say them out loud. For example, you could say, I see a burger. I see a bird. I see a soccer ball. Number 4. Feel. Pay attention to your body and think of 4 things that you can feel and say them out loud. For example, you could say, I feel my feet warm in my sockets. I feel the hair on the back of my neck. Or I feel the pillow I'm sitting on. Number 3. Listen. Listen for 3 sounds. Say the things out loud. It could be the sound of running feet, an airplane flying by, or the sound of a dog barking. Number 2. Smell. Say 2 things you can smell. It's okay to move to another spot and sniff something. If you can't smell anything at the moment, or you can't move, then name 2 of your favorite smells. Number 1. Taste. Say 1 thing you can taste. It may be the toothpaste from brushing your teeth, or the flavor of your bubble gum. If you can't taste anything, then say your favorite thing to taste. Take another deep belly breath to end.
Additional resources. It is important to know what resources are available during a crisis. We provided here a hotline and text line if a crisis should arise. Please share this with family and friends. There's also a flow chart to help you decide what treatment plan is the best option for you, and if you experience anxiety symptoms or just need mental health services.
And as we're wrapping up, just want to give credit where credit is due. We got a lot of our facts and information and graphics from Anxiety and Depression Association of America from their website. We use a YouTube video from Psych Hub Education to talk about what is anxiety. And we also use Stanford Kind's YouTube video for their coping skills, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding technique.
So hopefully you learned a lot through that video that, again, as I mentioned, the Lusinger Wellness Center interns shared
Hello,
with
everyone.
us.
Welcome to this.
Oops, sorry. So in the event that you have additional questions or you would like someone to talk with, myself, Dr. Matz, in the Wellness Center, my contact information is here. We also have Ms. Gutierrez, who is our school therapist, available, and Ms. Jimenez, our school social worker. So our contact information is there. We also have 2 social work interns at Lloyd that are available to you. We have Savannah Eklund and Adam Valdivia, and this is their contact information as well as the dates and times that they're available to assist. Each week, the Wellness Center hosts a drop-in, a Google Meet, where you can come and chat with us about anything that's going on in your life. So those are on Tuesdays at 12:30. And we host Thoughtful Thursday, which is Thursdays at 12:30, where we play games, hang out, just do something fun to connect with others. If you want to follow us on Instagram at Lloyd Wellness Center, Lloyd_Wellness Center, we're constantly posting like resources that are available to you, giving you ideas for activities for coping skills, just posting some inspirational messages and things like that. And so thank you for joining us today for advisory. You will be getting a link to a quiz as well on all of this information. Again, hopefully you learned some great techniques. That 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique is a really good one to help you deal with anxiety and other feelings that are coming up, while we're on distance learning.